Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahegana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sahigana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitansha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpataribhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Everyone can see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you. So let's start. So we are in the 12th chapter, which is the last chapter of this module, so which has three main sections, as we can see on the screen. First one is, which is better? Basically, Arjuna asked the question to Krishna, is Bhakti Yoga is better, or Mayavadis are better? So Bhakti over impersonalism. So Krishna clearly answers the question, Bhakti Yoga is the best. Then we have next section 8 to 12, which is the progressive stages of devotional service. So we have done 2 levels, so today we'll do next 2 levels. And the last one, which is very nice section, is the qualities that endear one to Krishna. What are the different qualities which a devotee exhibit while practicing devotional life? And they're beautiful qualities given by Krishna in these 8 verses. So let's see how we go. So 12.1. Mahavasu Prabhu, I will start from the bottom today, if that's okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thanks, Prabhu. So here I'll read the translation. It says, Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always pure, properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman? So as what we discussed last time is that before we start this lecture, this chapter, you actually asked us to refer to 9.15. In that there are 3 questions. One is Ekatvam, then Praktavena, and then Buddhu Vishato Mukham. That is, first is the oneness, sorry for that.
That's okay.
Oneness, then second is the duality, and third one is actually the worship of the universal form. So Krishna has already addressed 2 things, that is in duality, and the other one is the universal form. But Krishna is now going to explain what is the benefit and what is oneness. So that is been explained in chapter number 12, which starts with devotional service. So in this, as you said, Arjuna is inquiring now, understanding the universal form and the other forms. Now Arjuna is asking what is beneficial for a person if one were to do devotional service, to whom he should do the devotional service. Is it to the impersonal form or to the personal form? So here the question here is that ekam satatam yuktaye, right? That means one should be always be engaged. Then bhaktastvam paryupasate, that is devotees, whom should they properly worship, or what is the proper way of worshipping? So it's either the aksharam avyaktam, and then then tesham ke yoga vittamaha. And here you actually emphasize on the word vittamaha, which means the most perfect in knowledge of yoga. So tamaha means actually the perfection of knowledge. That's what it means. And so Arjuna is inquiring what is best. Is better to worship the impersonal form or the personal form of Lord Sri Krishna?
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Nice explanation. So there are two categories, as Prabhuji is saying. One is the bhaktas, one is the follower of impersonal aspect of Krishna, which is Aksharam and Avyaktam. Tesham ke, out of those, yoga vittamaha, who is best situated in yoga. Thank you, Prabhu. It's a superlative degree, vittama. And what will be the comparative degree, if I had to say? Taraha. You can remember the word priya, priyatara, priyatamaha. So tara refers to comparative degree, tamaha refers to superlative degree. And this is used many places in Bhagavad Gita as well as in Bhagavatam. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Now Sri Bhagwan will answer the question. Raghavi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I was not there, but I'll just try, Prabhuji.
Okay, okay.
Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be the most perfect. So when Arjuna asked what form he has, like which form is the most important, then Lord Krishna said that his personal form is the worshipping his personal form is the best way. Is the best way to engage, and a pure devotee always engages with constantly and also regularly, and that is the highest that is the most best path. That's what I understood, Prabhu.
Okay, that's good. You're not there, so that's fine. Maybe someone can pick up some words here as well, because these words are very important.
Yes, Prabhu, you actually discuss about the word aveshya.
Also, Prabhu, sorry, maybe someone else can also say. Maybe Mataji can say if she wants to. Vijay Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I was there last week, but I was not there as well. But anyways, I will try.
Okay.
Aapne avesha
Yes.
is you said is
Fully absorbed.
like completely absorbed.
Yes.
And then you gave an example of that Mataji is getting the Kali Mata and then Avesh Kona to our on and then they will
Kali Mata, I can't remember. I remember India-Pakistan match commentary.
India,
Pakistan. Okay.
Kali Mata, I can't remember.
I think you were talking about that as well,
Maybe.
unless
Maybe.
I was maybe talking about
No,
some
no, maybe
other
Mataji.
verse.
Some other example, maybe. Anyway, so what does Avesh mean for us? It's important for us
Avesh
to
means
understand.
is fully absorbed.
Fully
Or,
absorbed. Not
and
even
fixing.
a
Fixing,
just a
like
pin
as
drop
yes.
silence.
Yes, I remember India-Pakistan match, that everybody is 100% concentrated, and then
Yes.
no one will hear anything other than the commentary. So that's what it is, and it's a very I really like this chapter. It talks about devotional service, and here Krishna is talking about Maya Avesha. That means Mai is me, and Avesha is concentrated. Mano ema. Mano is the manas, the mind. Yema means unto me. So whoever put their 100% mind unto them, and Nitya Yukta Upasate is to worshipping him every day, or all the time.
So Nitya here mean actually all the time.
All the time.
So Nitya can also mean daily as well. I say Nityam
Yes.
Bhagavad Seva when we say. So Nitya has two meaning. So the daily word is the minimum meaning actually. Nitya actually means always. Satat Nitya means always, but what we take it daily. Okay, at least here Bhagavatam daily, at least.
And then Shraddhaya is with faith, with complete faith. And Parayopeta, I will refer to the word-to-word meaning.
Yes.
Parayopetaha is the transcendental, Upeta is endowed. So para is obviously it's transcendental. It is not and then tama mata, that is more yukta, is being engaged in tamaha. It is the most perfect in yoga.
So
And-
Yuktatama actually is one word. Yuktatama is one word.
Yukta tama, yeah.
Yeah. Yoga with tama, as Arjun was asking. So Krishna is responding the same way. Yuktatama. So tama, if you take it separately, that can mean ignorance or darkness. But because it's related with yukta, yuktatama refers to who's complete, the best one, who's yukta with this bhakti, which has para shraddha. So para means transcendental shraddha. So para and apara, we can remember like that. So the most important point here is shraddha. Our mind should be complete fixed in Krishna all the time with shraddha. And what sort of shraddha? Not that I will get some result from Krishna's worship. Okay, Hiranyakashipu was also worshipping, not Krishna, say Brahmaji, but he had some sort of result orientation in his mind. If I please Lord Shiva, if I please Lord Brahma, I will get so and so benefit. So it's saying paraya shraddha, transcendental shraddha. Okay, thank you. So this verse is actually very, very important. Anytime if we have a good debate means that people are, receiving the knowledge that you are sharing, you can show this verse. Krishna very clearly says that put your mind avesh in me, not in money, not in family, not in the material world. Put your mind avesh in me, in my personal form. And he's saying yukta tamamata, they are the best situated. So we are not invalidating other paths. We are saying this is the best path. And that's what Prabhupada said. It's not the other paths are not valid, but for Kali Yuga especially, the Bhakti Marg is the fastest and most practical path to go back to Godhead in this lifetime. Thank you, Mataji. 3 to 4. Jai Dharma Prabhu, you want to do one?
Sure, Prabhu.
Maybe you can give the context before we do the verse.
Sure, Prabhu. So in this, based on the first question, when Arjuna was trying to inquire which one is the superior, so the previous verse was talking more from the personal form of the worship of the Lord. So in this, Lord is giving further details, or the second option, like which is the ones who worship the impersonal aspect of the Lord. And then he's categorizing what are the various, I think you mentioned there are 8 different ways which are required. So if we go word by word, aksharam, which means the one which is beyond the perception of the senses, anidvesham, which is indefinite, avyaktam, which is unmanifested, and paryupasate, the one who manifests, sarvatragam, sarvatra is omni or pervading, achintyaya, inconceivable, kutastam, unchanging, and achalam, immovable, and finally dhruvam, which is fixed. So
Thank you, Prabhu. You remember every single word, huh?
No, Prabhu, I'm just reading from the translation.
Oh, okay. I was very impressed. Wow. Prabhuji is explaining.
Last time we were discussing about this point. So I think the people who are able to perceive the absolute truth, they need to possess all this, they need to meditate on all these aspects of the Lord, which I think in Bhagavatam also there was a mention around the Lord's different aspects, like which vadanti tatvadat vidas tatvatam yagnana jam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabda. So this talks more from the Parabrahma aspects of the Lord, where the people who are more Brahman aspect,
the first one,
where especially the Gnanis who meditate on Upanishads or who read the Upanishads, they are more following this path. And further, it explained in the later that it's difficult considering that we are embodied, but this is also Lord has clarified, like this is also definitely they'll also reach the absolute truth, or they will achieve Lord.
Eventually.
Or Eva, certainly.
Manmohan Prabhu, you want to do verse 4?
Yes, Prabhu, sure. I don't remember the full verse, Prabhu, but I'll try.
So you can just break it, Prabhuji. If you read one
Sure.
word, you'll remember.
So how to worship the unmanifested? So the first is by controlling various senses.
Yeah.
Second is by being equally disposed to everyone. Third is by engaging in welfare for all. And fourth is difficult for any common man. Penance involved before the ultimate realization of full surrender takes place. So I think these were the 4 points I remember, Prabhu.
Okay,
How
maybe
to
you can
worship
just take
the
the Sanskrit words, Prabhu.
Sure, Prabhu. I don't have my device with me.
Okay, no problem, Prabhuji. We can read it together. So,
Yeah.
niyam. Niyam, everyone knows niyam. Regulation
Regulation.
or controlling. Indriya means senses, and gramam refers to village. Samuha, group. So because we have group of senses, so Krishna is saying, San niyama indriya gramam. So control all the indriyas. Huh? So Prabhupada writes, by controlling the various senses. Sarvatra, sarvatra refers to?
Sarvatra is everywhere.
Everywhere, huh? Sarvada, sarvatra. So tra refers to sthan, place. Da means refers to time. So sarvada means all the time. Sarvatra means all the places. Huh? So here is sarvatra. Samabuddhaya, that's a very easy one. Samabuddhi.
Equally disposed.
Equally disposed. Huh? We should have equal vision. So our buddhi should not be favorable to our friends and inimical towards so-called enemies. Samabuddhya, we have sambuddhi, equal vision. Te prapnuvanti mam eva. So prapnuvanti refers to prapta karna.
Yeah.
So te, those, prapnuvanti, achieve, mam, me, eva. Eva is certainly.
Certainly, yeah.
So the word eva and eva, what's the difference? I-V-A. So in Hindi, this is A, and that is E. One who knows Hindi, they will understand what I'm talking. Anyway,
Eva means
E-V-A.
certainly.
Yes.
Eva,
And Eva?
Eva, I'm not sure, Prabhu.
As if.
Eva is
As
this?
if. As if.
As if.
As if. So Eva, I-V-A, that is as if.
Can you use it in a sentence, or can you give an example?
As if this person was here. His presence can still be felt. For example, some person comes to your house and leaves after a few days, and you still feel the presence of that person. Oh, my Guru Maharaj was here. It was so nice. It feels like as if he's still here. Guru Maharaj left the planet, but many devotees, as if he's still here. Something like that. That's Eva, and that also comes. Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. That's a very simple one. Sarva Bhuta.
Sarva means everyone, and Bhuta means living entities, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Hite, hit.
Welfare.
Welfare. Rataha. Rat. Bharat. What's the meaning of Bharat? Bha means Bhaskar. Rat means engaged. Bhaskar, who is the god of knowledge. So one who is always engaged in achieving knowledge, that is called Bharat. And one who lives there, that's called Bharatiya or Indian. So India does not refer to just a piece of land here. It has a very deep spiritual meaning. Bharat, Bharat. Rat means engaged. Karya Rat. He is always engaged in Karya. So Rat means engaged. So one who is engaged in the welfare of all living entities, one who is equipoised, one who has controlled all his senses, and doing all these worship to 8 aspects, which is given in the 3rd verse, te prapnuvanti mam eva, they will also achieve me. So that's what the verse is. Now it sounds very difficult. That's what Krishna will also say in 12.5, one of the most famous verses. Going backward, Ujjwal Rasa Mataji, would you like to do this famous verse?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
5. So the translation is, for those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in this discipline, is always difficult for those who are embodied. So here, Krishna is giving us 2 important words, which is klesha and the other one is dukkham. So Krishna is talking about this impersonal worship. So people who are into impersonalism, for them, this path is klesha, which is troublesome, and this path is full of dukkham. So word by word, I would say, chetasam,
If we can start from the top, Mataji. Very easy. We can read together.
okay,
Klesha.
klesha is trouble.
Adhik.
Adiktara is very much,
Yes.
a lot.
Very good.
Tesham, so regarding them. So
Very
he's
good.
talking about the impersonals.
Yes.
Impersonalists. Avyakta, so about the unmanifested.
Yep.
And asakta is attached.
Thank
so a
you.
person who is attached to this unmanifested, there is a lot of trouble.
Yes. And the last
And
word is chetasam.
Chetasam.
So when he's saying
So-
he is attached, that means his chitta is attached. Huh?
Mm.
His consciousness is attached to avyakta, and he is going to get klesha adhik. Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mataji. Now we can say the
So
second line.
the next
Third
is avyakta, which means unmanifested again. He gatir dukkha. So the path to the unmanifested is dukkha. You get the dukkha, the misery, and deha vadir vapyate. So deha is a person who has a body, and avapyate, a person who has achieved the body. So an embodied person. So the person who is embodied, who concentrates or who focuses on the unmanifested, the path is full of dukkha. That
Yes.
is the meaning.
And their gati is dukkha, and on the path
dukkha.
they will receive a lot of miseries actually. Huh? And who will
Yeah.
achieve that? Anyone who is embodied. That means everyone. Very
Yeah.
beautiful Krishna is saying everyone will go through this because you have a deha. Thank you, Mataji. You have broken every single word. That's very nice. That's what we should try to practice. And if you don't know, absolutely fine. Look in the synonyms. And slowly we'll start getting to know the Sanskrit words. And then we start relishing these verses. So this is also very nice verse and very nice purport Prabhupada has written. Now 12.6, just going backward. Kandrasa Prabhu, would you like to do just one verse 6? Maybe you can give the context before we do the verse. Prabhu, you're on mute.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Here, in this verse, Krishna is actually speaking about the people who are following the Bhakti Marga.
Yes.
So,
So just Prabhuji, 1 second. So in the first 12.1, anyone remembers 12.1? You can unmute yourself, all of you. What is 12.1? Quickly. Arjuna's question to question. So he's
Who is
asking,
better?
who is better? 12.2 is? 12.2?
Devotees are better.
Devotees are better. Most tamah word is used in 12.1 and 12.2. Huh? So there's no further discussion there that, okay, it may be better. This is also good. There's no political statement. Very clear question, very clear answer. Now 12.3, 4 and 5 refers to?
Impersonalist.
And they say, okay, that's fine. You can do it. There are 8 aspects which you should worship, and you should show your equipoiseness and sarvbhutireta, you are engaged in everyone's welfare. And then you will achieve me, but it's a very, very difficult path. And now Krishna stops the conversation there after 3 verses, and he comes back to Bhakti Marga. And rest of the whole chapter is dedicated to Bhakti Marga. Huh? So very sort of clear distinction. So only 3 verses in this chapter defines what happens to those people who follow the path of impersonalism. And Krishna not only gives the qualities, he also gives his conclusion as well. And what is the Krishna's conclusion regarding bhakti in another chapter? So 12.5 is like a conclusion, final opinion of Krishna in terms of impersonalism. What is the final opinion of Krishna in terms of devotion? Any other?
Bhaktyamam abhijanati.
Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Okay, more. That's
Sulabha.
8.14. Huh? So tasyaham sulabha partha. So what's the conclusion of devotional path from Krishna? Tasyaham sulabha partha. Hey Parth, that is very sulabha. And here what is saying, so you can do a contrast between 8.14 and 12.5. So clear contrast words. where Krishna expresses his personal opinion regarding bhakti and impersonalism. It's very clear. So what's the conclusion for impersonalism? Klesho dikatarastesham. So very, and here what is saying? Tasyaham sulabha partha. So 8:14 verses 12.5. You can see a clear contrast. So both marg is valid, but here is saying sulabha, here is saying very dukha. Too much dukha there. So much klesha there. Two words is used, klesha and dukha. So you can do a clear comparison between two paths given by Krishna himself. This is not Prabhupada. Purport is talking about. Krishna himself is saying. And that's what Prabhupada, keeps repeating this Krishna's conclusion throughout Bhagavad Gita. My dear Kali Yuga people, Bhakti Marg is very easy. Adopt it, go back to Godhead very easily. So a little bit we can consider. Now further 15 verses on this chapter will all be dedicated to Bhakti Marga. So let's see what 12.6 says. Yes, Prabhuji.
So I'll just read the translation first. Yeah. Verse 6. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me. So I think that's the first verse 6. The other things are for this verse 7. So I'll just go through it quickly. Yes. So basically here Krishna is saying, people who worship me, giving up all the karma, fruits of all the actions, and making me the supreme goal. And the second thing is always exclusively worshiping me. For those people, I become the swift deliverer. That's the next. So maybe
verse. We can just do this Sanskrit verse, Prabhu.
Yeah. So yetu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasa matparaha. This means one who gives up all the fruits of action, or one who dedicates all the action unto Krishna, and make him the person's supreme goal. Anyanyena yogena mam dhyanto upasate. Anyanyena yogena means exclusively carrying exclusive devotional service. Mam dhyanto, worship me, upasate, always. So people who worship me always with exclusive devotion, those are the ones he's talking about here in this verse 6.
So matparaha?
Matpara is meaning attached to me, or making Krishna as a supreme goal.
Very well, thank you, Ruji. Matpara refers to making Krishna the supreme goal. And this word is also has come in Bhagavad Gita many times. So make Krishna the supreme goal. What does it mean? You can have your immediate goals, you can have your medium-term goals, but the ultimate goal, it has to go back to Krishna. Every activity we do, it has to position or aligned in such a way, it leads us to Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Now I'm just going, Vijay Gopi Mataji or Rasanand Prabhu, would you like to do this one?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, continuation of what you said, I'll just read the translation fully. But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me, and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their mind upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Okay, coming to the word by word meaning, Tesham talks about of them. He's referring to those people, who's following those steps above, those who are worshipping me, giving up all their activities unto me. So he's referring to them, to me, aham, to me, and samudrata. So here samudrata means a deliverer. So I am delivering these people from what? Mrityu samsara sagarat. So mrityu means death, and samsara is in this ocean of being death in the material existence. Sagarat is from the ocean of birth and death cycle. And bhavami, I become. What do I become? How do I give it? Na chirat, that is not after a long time. So then the word avishta. So we have already seen this word avishtya in verse number 12.2. So the same thing, being so much fixed. And chetasam, of those whose mind, so fixed in the mind of Krishna. So Krishna ultimately saying, if you worship me, give up all the activities for me and devoted to me without deviation and engage in devotion work service, so I will be swiftly delivering you from the ocean of birth and death. And how fast? It's very fast. That's what he's trying to say. Deliver very swiftly.
This is also one of the very, very encouraging words for a devotee. Anyone else remember a similar verse in Bhagavad Gita, which is giving so much assurance to the devotee that Krishna is just there, personally there? Anyone else? I know Rasan. Okay, Prabhu ne bol diya. Manmana Madbhakto. Okay. 922 is more appropriate. You can say in similarity, I'm saying it's more appropriate. Krishna says, Yoga Shema Vahami Aham. Saying Aham Samudharta. Now, what Samudharta, you can actually break it. Uddhar. Everyone know the word Uddhar. I think even in Sanskrit or Hindi or Tamil, probably Uddhar word is there. Liberate. Sam Uddhar means completely liberation. Like Sankirtan. Kirtan, Sankirtan. So Samudharta means completely deliver. So I will not just do a partial deliverance. Complete deliverance. Swift, very easily. Swift is very easy. Sulabha Partha, similar word is there. And who do it? I do it. I will personally do a very swift delivery of that person very soon. Such a nice verse. So this chapter is so beautiful. You'll see beautiful verses and so much assurance is coming. Now you remember 240. Anyone remembers 240?
Neha Bikramana.
Thank you. Jai Dharma Prabhu is Jai Dharma Prabhu is like encyclopedia. All the
Prabhu, I know
verses just right here. Okay, someone can complete this verse. I know everyone can, but anyone else complete this verse? Just take a series here. So we can see even a small action of devotion can save you from a biggest fear. So imagine if you are doing Maya Avesita Chaitasam. Just imagine the heart of Krishna, which is accommodating everyone. So is the highest level of devotion Maya Avesita Chaitasam. That's perfect. But even you continue doing the little acts. Finally, Krishna is saying, Tasham Aham Samudharta. I will take you off the ground, of this Mrityu Sansar Sagra. So beautiful verse. Okay, beautiful purport of Prabhupada, which we will not read. 12.8.
I just remembering how,
Yes,
how Gajendra also.
Yeah.
Personally, Krishna came just to deliver him. And the example is like, even the Garuda was very slow. He just took Garuda on his shoulder and he came.
Yes. And also, I think I might have discussed in this class, another class, before Narayan came, the demigods also came to protect Gajendra. It's mentioned in some commentaries. And what he said, if Krishna will protect me, then only I'll receive the protection. Otherwise, I don't want your protection. I don't want it. It said after 1,000 years or something, demigods actually appeared in front of Gajendra and said, we can also deliver you. You just call us. He said, no, I'm only going to call my Krishna and no one else. So he was so exclusive for Krishna. Only Krishna has to come and protect me. I will better die rather than receiving protection from others. Like a chatak bird, which is mentioned in Sanskrit so many times. She only takes the water of Swati Nakshatra. She will die in Ganges water, but she will not take any other water because she has so much love for that water. So similarly, devotee has so much love for Lord. He doesn't care about other successes in the material world. Even if it's given, he just does not accept it. He does not care for it. It says even the Sayuj Sarishri Mukti says 9.3.65 or 66 verse. Krishna said, even if I give 4 types of siddhis, 4 types of muktis to my devotee, they don't care. They don't care. What to speak of material successes? He doesn't care. Okay, 12.8. Who will give the context? Who has not done as yet? Okay, I can see Madhuri Mataji joined up. Mohit Prabhu is here. Priya Mataji is here. Any one of you? Okay, maybe they're a little busy. Shraddha Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Madhuri Mataji is here.
Yeah. Sorry, Prabhu, I am
That's
not
okay.
so well, so
No problem,
I'm
Madhav.
not switching on my camera.
No problem. It's all right. If you don't...
Translation: just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt. So, this is another verse wherein Krishna is reassuring. So, my is me upon me. Eva, certainly, like it's only for sure. Mana adatsva. Mana is mind. Adatsva is put your mind in me, is the first line. Mai buddhim niveshaya. So your intelligence apply on me. Buddhi is intelligence. Mai is again, it's upon me. Niveshaya is apply. Nivaishyasi mai eva. Live or Nivashva.
So Nivas is words come from Nivas. Nivas means Nivas Sthan.
Live.
Where we live.
Yeah.
So where should we be living? Maya Eva. Not in North Sydney, not in Glenfield, not in ponds or wherever. Where we should live? In Maya Eva. You live in me.
Yeah.
And Eva word is used again. Huh? Eva is actually twice used. First line and the third line.
Ata urdvam na samshaya. So Atha urdvam is after that, thereafter, and na is never, samshaya, there is no doubt. Once you live, when you fix your mind upon me and you live in me, then certainly for sure after that you will never have any doubt. You will live with me is what
Thank you,
Krishna
Mataji.
is saying.
Yeah. So this is the first verse of the progressive stages of devotion. The first one is the first recommendation by Krishna. This is how you should live. You give your man and buddhi to me, and you do nivas, you stay with me always. That's first stage. Second stage, 12.9. Mohit Prabhu, I'm not sure if you're able to do. That's okay, bro. Please, humble request to all of you, if you're driving, please do not switch on your camera. We don't want any devotee to get into any trouble. Yeah, the best thing is we can sit and listen and interact. But if you have to drive, please do not open your camera because it can be dangerous. Okay, I will go to Shraddha Mataji, if you want to do.
Prabhu, I'll try, although I'm
okay,
not...
no problem. We are all trying.
Okay, Prabhu.
We'll do it together.
Translation is, my dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. So basically, as far as I remember, it's like referring to like everybody who is not able to, like it is obviously difficult for people who are on the material platform to continuously focusing on Krishna without any deviation. So before that, to come to that stage, we need to do Vedi Bhakti, regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. And with Vedi Bhakti, like if you do it for longer period of time, like as we are doing, like we are chanting our rounds and we are trying to cultivate other like trying to do devotional services, then we like an individual can go to the next level, that is Raganuga, like spontaneous love for Krishna. But that comes like after practicing Vedi Bhakti with dedication. That's what I remember, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely summarized the verse. So can you please explain for the benefit of everyone, what does Vedi Bhakti mean? A simple one.
Doing devotional service, like following 4 regulative principles and
so Vedi means Vidhi Vidhan, the bhakti which you do by rules and regulations. So your mind may not be there, but you're still doing it because you know it's beneficial for me. Like little kids, sometimes they don't want to take bath, but mama says, "Chalo, andar." Bath is compulsory, brushing is compulsory, huh? So take your breakfast, like that, do some puja. So their mind isn't there, but parents are teaching the kids constantly to do the right thing, to do the right thing. And what happens after 10, 15 years of training? They get trained so well, they cannot live without, bathing or brushing or doing puja. They cannot do it. So it's a training. So right now, what are we doing? Vaidhi Bhakti. At least I am doing. I'm not sure about all of you. You may be a Premi Bhakta. Your mind is automatically attracted towards Krishna. So we have to chant our 16 rounds. There's a Bhakti Shastri exam coming, so we have to study. I'm sure no one likes exams. I don't. I'll say that. Some of you like the exam, I know. I don't. So assignments and all these, no one likes it. What does it mean? Our mind is not there in Krishna, but some activity, just a simple mundane activity. I guess some people like, watching cricket match or movie or whatever. Just by default, he just give them and they are just happy with that. Similarly, some devotees like Katha or Kirtan, some defaults are there. So this is called Vaidhi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. So as Mataji was saying, I thought it's nice. 12.8, you can say Raganuga. Spontaneous attraction for Krishna is there, right? So Krishna is saying, but one who don't have the spontaneous, what Krishna is saying, okay, come down, no problem. And what you do? Abhyas yoga. And what does abhyas here refers to? Now, abhyas can have multiple meanings, so don't freeze the meaning, but here abhyas yoga refers to, as Mata is saying, angas of devotional service. Anyone can say what are different angas of devotional path which we follow in our sampradaya?
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Saranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Rasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedam.
Haribo, Iti Pumsar Pita Vishnu. So this is given by Sri Prahlad Maharaj, and Prabhupada keeps quoting it again and again. So you can do, Prabhupada said, even one anga, if you do it perfectly, your life is successful. So, Atha Chittam Samadhatum. So Mataji, can help me translating the words. So we have done the summary of the verse. Let's read the word by word. Atha. You can read here, no problem.
Yeah, Atha is it's therefore.
Okay, Chittam.
Chittam is mind or consciousness.
Thank you. Samadhatum.
Samadhatum, to fix.
So,
na not.
Shaknosi.
You are able.
Yes. So you can just relate this, Mataji.
Yes.
If your chitta is not able to get fixed in me. So this first line actually is just negating what he said previously. So he said, okay, do this. And then your child says, Mama, I can't do this. Okay, beta, if you cannot do this, I'll tell you an easier way to solve your homework or math problem. Abhyas yogen tato. So what you should do? Abhyas yoga. And obviously, as I said, this is where we have to take help of Prabhupada, because this word will have different meanings at different places. So Prabhupada is saying, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. Okay, the last line, Mataji, you can do without looking the synonyms. It's very easy.
So mom for me,
it's
like
mom. It's mom. So it's a ke upar matra hai. Mom. So mom is the English word. Mom, mummy, mom. This is mom. This Krishna is saying mom, me. Okay. Ichhaptum. This is a very difficult word. Ichha is a difficult word. Everyone knows. Even in Tamil, I would say. Ichha would know. Mataji, you have Tamil Ichha word in Tamil? I'm not sure. Desire?
Tamil. Ishtam.
Similar. Close. Okay. Aptum Mataji, Shraddha Mataji.
To get.
Aptum, prapt karna. Achieve. Apnoti, aptum. It's all same words. Dhananjaya. That is very easy.
Dhananjaya, yeah. Jaya is like a winning, and the Dhananjaya is referring to like the in this verse it's referring to Arjuna.
Thank you. Mataji कुछ ज़्यादा ही break करने लगे.
Sorry.
That's all right. No,
but like we have heard in other lectures as well, like intelligence is the husband, like the main mukhya of the family, and then mind is can be a wife, and senses are the children. As you said, we need to control the senses. With now we have knowledge that what is right and what is wrong. We need to come on Krishna consciousness level. So we should listen to the husband, and that's how we can control the whole family.
Jai Hari Bol. Mataji remembers the whole analogy. And Manmohan Prabhu, I think she's that husband in the house, isn't it? The intelligence of the house.
I am the last in the chain.
That's a very safe position to be in. Okay, very nice. So, Mother, you see, it's very easy actually. We can read these Sanskrit words. If you just do one by one, try to take help of Prabhupada's synonyms and then translation, and we can break it. They're actually practically very, very easy words. Sometimes you don't know, that's fine. Just leave, look it down. So basically what this verse is saying, if you can't do the first one, 8, do the second one, which is practice, which we are all doing at the moment. Most of us, at least, we don't have natural attraction for Krishna, but we are doing some Abhyas yoga. Now we will do the third level again by Krishna. Even if you cannot do this Abhyas, whatever, you cannot chant 16 rounds, you cannot go to Mangala Arati in the temple, you cannot fast for Janmashtami. Let's see what Krishna says, 12.10. Who hasn't done yet? Okay, Satyavan Mataji has a quick question.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhuji, in the same verse, we also discussed, you gave an example of Jai Pataka Maharaji, that, within 2 weeks of being Krishna conscious, he just shaved his head and he was completely devoted. So, Prabhuji, I was just thinking that, is it because of the past karma? We also discussed that, based on the past karma, one developed that much love and prema bhakti for Krishna. So, looking at his example as well. So is there always a case that, one must have done past devotional service for Krishna and then he get so much of love for Krishna? Or sometimes it is also possible that with Abhyas, one can suddenly get so much love for Krishna and then suddenly they do it. So is it also possible, or is it just based on the past karma only, Prabhu?
Yeah. So when you're saying Abhyas, I'll just speak to your context and I'll tell you one more context. So when you're doing Abhyas, for example, and you have done say 40% devotion devotional work in this life, next life you start from 41. So that's clear. So now you're doing Abhyas, and you can reach to 100% whenever, wherever, and then you go back to Godhead. Now, and actually both of your scenarios are related to one line. Now, with regards to His Holiness Jai Pataka Maharaj, we cannot put these practices on him because he is considered Prabhupada or many senior Vaishnavas like that are considered, they are not there because they have done many lifetimes of Abhyas, but they are sent by Krishna for our Abhyas so that they can train us so that we can do some purification. So that's one thing. So it's very hard to apply on a particular person. But yeah, the concept is, yes, if you have done your devotional services in this life up to whatever percent, and then you start next, but Krishna will arrange all that. Now, another aspect is, as you are saying, so one marg is Abhyas marg, and that's why all these souls, most of the souls which we are doing Abhyas, and slowly, hopefully, in one birth, sooner or later, we all get Prema Bhakti 100% done. Another mark can be, which we'll read in Nectar of Devotion later, if a Vaishnav gives you a special blessing, if a Vaishnav desire from his heart, Krishna take the soul back. Forget Abhyas. Go back to God. I'll give you one example. When Prabhupada came first time to India, he was in Mumbai, that time Bombay, with his white elephants, which means white American and European disciples. Out of curiosity, these disciples, long story short, said to Prabhupada, we have heard from astrologer actually, we have heard that before we can start chanting the holy name, as written in Bhagavatam as well, you have to perform so much tapasya, so much piety, so much Vedic literature you should have read, you have taken bath in many holy rivers, you have done so many pious activities, but we were completely sinful. We were breaking all the regulative principles on a daily basis, and we were doing all the nonsense. We never even heard the word Krishna. We had no piety. How come we are able to chant so nicely, so enthusiastically, and able to associate with you, Prabhupada? So Prabhupada said there, which relates to this question, he said, I have created your piety. So although their Abhyas was practically zero in this birth, in the previous birth, you can say, before they met Prabhupada, they were all doing negative activities. But when they met Prabhupada, then Prabhupada saw a spark in there. Prabhupada prayed to Krishna, let these souls be attracted towards you. And obviously, their Shraddha was there in Srila Prabhupada. And they started, you can say, from 70%, right on the spot. No Abhyas done. Because a pure devotee has prayed for you. Prahlad Maharaj prayed to Narsingadev that let all the jivas of this universe go back to Godhead. And it said, Narsingadev accepted all the jivas of the universe on the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj. And that showed Vasudev in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Vasudev, he prays to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, let all the suffering of all the jivas come upon me and let me stay here in the material world, let everyone else go back to Godhead. So Mahaprabhu said, actually, I will not let you suffer. I will take everyone back to Godhead. So this is one of the lessons for all the devotees. We must pray for all the jivas on a daily, if not, on a nitya basis. Nitya means all the time basis. You should be praying for other jivas, And it says, the more we pray for others genuinely, the more we pray for others will help us more to go back to Godhead than we pray for ourselves. Let others pray for us. It doesn't mean you don't pray for yourself. You can also pray for yourself. But when we, with compassion, pray for other jivas, pray for all the animals, all the other, lost souls. Krishna actually really likes it because you are being very selfish. When you are praying for yourself, absolutely you can pray. You are being a little selfish. Krishna, I'm suffering here. Please take me back to Godhead. Something like that. You can pray, no problem. But the better is, you pray for others, and you do so many nice activities that others pray for you. You help them in so nice way. And this is what we see in the temple as well. We have so many nice devotees around, and when they help you in some way or little, you really feel very thankful towards those devotees, and you want to do something. Not they expect something from you, but you want to do. And what's the best thing you can do for a devotee? Because he is not interested in anything mundane. You can pray for him or her. And this sort of real loving bond between devotees and Krishna, it's so beautiful. You like it, he likes it, Krishna likes it, and everyone is so happy because it's not on a material platform. It's not on what I'm giving, what other is giving to me. It's just pure, selfless, devotional grounds, which is to please Krishna. So thank you for asking the nice question. So long story short, yes, if a devotee prays to you, prays for you, all the abhyas is not needed. Narad Muni did that for Valmiki Muni. For Mrigari, we see Krishna did it for Putana. We see so many examples, and all these examples are there in Nectar of Devotion. I'm not telling something outside our course. It's in Nectar of Devotion. We'll see. So one is Abhyasa Marg, obviously, which we are doing and we are supposed to do. Another marg where we can get the blessing of a devotee or Krishna, in terms of Putana, for example. And there we go. No regulative principles are needed. You go back to Godhead, right there, or within the same lifetime. Mrigari went back within the same lifetime. Putana went right on the spot, went back to Godhead as a Dhatri. Fantastic. One time, Gauranga Prabhu was doing a college program, and he asked some people, so who is your role model in Bhagavad? And this guy raised his hand. He said, my role model is Ajamil. He said, what? He said, there are 12 Mahajans in Bhagavatam, and there are so many other nice pure devotees. Why did you choose Ajamil? And he said in Hindi, he said, Ajamil bahut acha lagta hai. Maja bhi kiya aur Bhagavad Dham bhi gaya. He enjoyed his life and went back to Godhead. So we all want to do that. And Prabhu said, he enjoyed his life and he went back to Godhead, but you will not be able to do that because we are doing Nam Aparadh here. We are doing Nam. Ajamil did not do Nam Aparadh. He called out for Narayan or Govind or Krishna from his heart. There was no aparadh there. But if we take the example of Ajamil, karo maza, enjoy the life, and jab aayega tab dekh lenge. When Yamdutas will come, will say, hang on a second, Narayan. Yamduta will say, let's go. We'll see Narayan in Narak Loka. So we cannot take undue advantages of these pastimes. But if you see them naturally, they are so beautiful. Okay, is that okay, Mataji?
It's very, very beautiful. I got goosebumps while listening. It is so nice.
Hare Krishna. This is what Bhagavatam is. That's why we should all read Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. They are so beautiful pastimes, and that will encourage us a lot more. That's why reading Bhagavatam is very important. Okay, Ujjwala Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, when you were mentioning about those special souls who got the mercy of the pure devotees, so they must be really special, even though they may be showing like, they are engaging in sinful activities, and that's what looks like. Yeah. But they must be special souls. That's number one. And number two is, were they destined to get this special mercy? How does that work?
Okay, that's a big topic. I'll not take. Yes. So there are two lessons which we can take from each pastime. So one lesson which I just explained. If Krishna desires or pure devotee desires, you can get that mercy straight away and finish up all your exams. Like a university gives you. I'm not sure if I'm wrong here. I think Sachin Tendulkar, he couldn't pass his high school, but the degree was awarded to him. Am I right? I've heard something like that, huh? Because he's so good. He's doing so much work. So similarly, just answering the Satyavan Mataji's question. Similarly, if someone sees us that we are doing some extra work, the mercy can be given straight away. A lot of mercy in one chunk. Now, what Ujjwala Mataji is saying, they were special souls. Yes. So in other Puranas, actually all the pastimes are given for Valmiki, Ajamil. Jiva Goswami explains in his Sandarbhas about Ajamil's past life. We have those explanations as well. Yes, there is some relation there. Below Mangal Thakur also, he is coming. Purushottam Mas is coming. We can discuss in another class. There's a whole different pastime actually. How these souls became so special to be able to achieve that mercy of Krishna, which we all aspire for. Gosh, aisa hota. I wish, we could all achieve that mercy of Krishna, which Putana got, Below Mangal Thakur got. But yeah, they are special due to some reasons. Yes, there's another Prahlad Maharaj, for example. He was in the womb of his mother. What has he done? What has he done? He has done something. So that's why it says 240 is very, very important. Whatever we are doing right now, we are listening one name of Krishna. We are reading, we are touching Bhagavad Gita. We are having just overhearing some conversation about Krishna. Everything will go in our account and everything will pile up. And one day the account will be 100%, 100%, no less. It will happen. It's just bound to happen. It says whoever is in the moment of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is bound to go back to Godhead. Bound. Even if you don't want to, you'll go back to Godhead. Tomorrow, if you say, I have broken my contract with Krishna, with my Guru, with Vaishnavas, I will never go back to Godhead. But I'm sorry to say, you will definitely go back to Godhead. It's written. It's written. Every single one of us, sooner or later, will go back to Godhead. That's why we should be so hopeful, no matter how sinful we were, how sinful we are, what mistakes we have done in the past. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everyone is in the list of Krishna by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So, Ujjwala Mataji, Akhadrasa Prabhu, Satyavan Mataji, everyone's name is there in Krishna's list in Vaikuntha. He's reading the names, so he's saying, just few more lifetimes. Huh? For some of you, it might be this life, will be the last. Some of you, maybe few more lifetimes. But it's written because Prabhupada is there. 98% work he has already done. We just have to do 2%, which seems very difficult. Just 2% work. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, but it's a bit bewildering to think about some people get chosen and some.
Yeah, so that's why we should not think about those people from that aspects. So Chaitanya Prabhu explains in one of his classes, can't remember which one, but he said very clearly, we should just not wait for that extra mercy. We should just do our sadhana bhakti, very sincerely, purify ourselves, and just wait for Guru's mercy based on your sadhana, not on, you're watching movies, for example, and then you say, oh, Guru will come and deliver us. The Guru will say, chalo, pehle kaam karo. First you do your homework. You haven't done your homework. How do you expect me to pass you? Yeah, he can pass you if you have done all the homework, but you still made some mistakes. That's okay. This person was very sincere throughout his or her life. He made few mistakes, and Guru will say, I will fill up the gaps. But you haven't done any work. And say, Guru Maharaj, I've taken Diksha from you. So what? So what? Change of the heart is what we need. And that is the most difficult part. I've said it many times, being a devotee externally is very, very easy. Putting a kanthi mala, dhoti kurta, sari, tilak, everyone can do it. What's the big deal about it? Changing name, very easy. You can get initiation. That's not a big deal, right? You can get Bhakti Shastri degree, not a big deal. But changing of the heart is what Krishna is looking. That is the most difficult part. And that may take millions of lifetimes more. So our target should be very, very clear. Not a Diksha is not the target. Even my Guru Maharaj said in a class, he said, no matter how bright the color of your orange is, no matter how big danda you have, he's saying, talking about sannyasi, it doesn't matter. You can take a danda and say, okay, I've taken sannyas. And the answer is, so what? So if you have taken initiation or aspiring for initiation and thinking that's it, ho gaya, kuch nahi hua hai. Nothing has happened, to be very honest. The heart should change, and we have to work on this purpose, Everything else which we are doing is for changing the heart. Everything else, if someone, glorifies me or doesn't glorify me, it doesn't really matter. That's not the criteria from Krishna's perspective. It may be from our perspective. Yes, everyone, when I walk in, everyone recognizes me. They say you are great. Actually, that's another form of Maya in one sense. If it impacts our consciousness, it's a form of Maya. More upadhi on top of us. Huh? So that's not the criteria. That's why the real crux is our sadhana, our seva to our Guru Maharaj for his satisfaction, not for the satisfaction of the whole crowd. Yeah, if Guru is happy, yes, through Guru, through Krishna, we want to satisfy the whole world. Otherwise, no. So the goal is very clear. The path process is very clear. We should be just become very clear in this. And as Radheshyam Prabhu says, become bona fide. Huh? Be a good devotee, not a great devotee. It's not needed. If great devotee Krishna desires, you can become great devotee. You can do great things. Be a good devotee. That's all our purpose is. There is no other purpose. And change our heart. And then we'll have all the qualities which we're going to read today and go back to Godhead. Then Krishna will gladly accept us. Now, when Krishna will pick us, that's up to him, and we cannot rely. In Next Love Devotion, it also says in one of the classes, I think Radheshyam Prabhu was explaining very nicely. He's saying, even if you have done every single thing what is needed to get prema of Krishna, Krishna being independent may not give you. Like you have done all the things for the assignment. It's an example. I'm going to do that. You still don't get your marks. And you're like, Krishna, I have done every single thing which you have mentioned in the Shastra. And Krishna says, so what? I'm Swaraj. That's the definition of Krishna. He is completely independent to give prema or not give prema. Because prema has to be given. Prema cannot be demanded. It has to be given. And when it will be given, how it will be given, that's totally up to Krishna. Radheshyam Prabhu says very clearly, you cannot demand. Krishna, I've done everything. I've taken sannyas. I've quit my family. And Krishna will say, so what? So what? Example of Narad Muni. He has done everything perfect. And Krishna only gave him a glimpse in his first life when he was the son of a maid servant. And he said, you are still not completely purified. You still have to do my kirtan. And then Narad Muni did fantastic kirtan for the rest of his life. Then he became Narad Muni. So it cannot be demanded. So Radheshyam Prabhu was saying, even if you've done everything perfect, you cannot demand. Krishna, why not me? Sare logon ko mil gaya. Everyone in 180 Falcon Street got the prema except me. Mere se kya dushmani hai? What enmity you have for me? You cannot say that, because if you say that, you're done. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj says very clearly, I've heard in lecture myself, he said, even if you have a desire to go back to Godhead, you cannot go back to Godhead. Maharaj said, even if you have a desire to go back to Godhead, you cannot go back to Godhead. The bar is pretty high. But the good part is Krishna is assuring us at every step. Even if you forget what you have done for Krishna, Krishna is not going to forget, and he will make arrangements. So have that faith in Krishna and just move forward with as much sincerity as possible. We all make mistakes. We have made mistakes. We will make mistakes. But our focus should be on our practicing nice devotional service, not focus too much on negativity. And then slowly and surely, it will happen one day. It will happen. Okay, I think we should move on from Bhagavad Gita. We have moved to a nice seminar topic of Nectar of Devotion. But thank you for asking these questions. This is what should remind us of our goal. And when I'm telling, obviously, I have no realization, no knowledge. When I'm speaking, don't think I'm speaking on realization or anything like that. No, I'm very, very low, one of the lowest one. But I'm speaking what I have heard. I'm just passing it on, honestly, just passing it on, so that by my speaking, I may get some words inside me. So we all can help each other from that perspective.
Prabhu, you are very humble and modest when you say these things.
Prabhu, I'm being very honest. I'm being very, very honest. I've been just hearing and speaking. Nothing is here.
We are nowhere to be seen if you say these things, Prabhu.
No, Prabhuji, you all are very, very sincere. I see it like that, and I'm telling the truth. You may believe me or not. I see you're much more sincere. All of you. If you have to give class, Prabhuji, you will also prepare nicely. So giving class is also not difficult. Practicing the things which you say in the class, that is difficult. And Krishna is looking at that. Speaking in a class on a mic in front of 20 people, 50 people, it's not difficult actually. Anyone can Google few things, cram few things, and and show a tilak. That's not a big thing actually. Any intelligent person can do that. Practicing those things are the most difficult part. But why we are doing it, honestly, this is done as a devotional service for our purification. So we're not saying we are great or anything like that, but we are doing this, all of us, and we are expected to do this as a part of our devotional service so that we can get purification by this exercise. This is our Abhyas Yoga. So I read and share, you also do that, so that we can get some purification. So it's a part of that process. That's why we are doing, not that we know. Anyway, hopefully one day we will know what is the right and what is wrong. Okay, let's move forward. Mam Ichhaptum Dhananjaya. Okay, so we have done that, right? So we are doing the next verse, verse of the day. 12.10. Okay, who will read this verse? Who haven't done any speaking as yet? I can see Vinay Prabhu is ready already.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Abhyaseyopi asamarthosi.
Abhyasepi asamarthosi.
Matkarma paramo bhava.
Matkarma paramo bhava.
Madartham api karmani.
Madartham api karmani.
Kurvan siddhim avapsasi.
Kurvan siddhim avapsyasi.
If you cannot practice the regulation of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Abhyaseyapi. So, we just read from the previous verse. If you cannot live in Krishna, you cannot offer your mind and intelligence to Krishna, you can do Abhyas. You can practice the different limbs of devotional service. But even if you cannot do that, Abhyase api asamarthosi. Asamarth means you are able to. In the previous verse, which word was used instead of asamartha? Na shaknosi. So similar verse. Na shaknosi, if not possible. Asamarthopi means you're not able to do it. So what you should do in that situation? Now the third stage Krishna is explaining. Mat karma parmo bhava. So Krishna is recommending you should do some activity. But which activity you should do? Mat karma. So what does mat karma refers to? Prabhupada says working for me. You should work for Krishna. We cannot do abhyas. And working for Krishna can be of two levels. We'll discuss about it. So mad artham api karmani. Mad artham. So mad artham is mere arth ke liye, for my benefit. Now, what benefit we can give to Krishna? But that means, suppose someone is buying vegetables for temple. Just a simple example, right? You're buying bhoga for Krishna. You may not be chanting 16 rounds, but if you're buying bhoga for Krishna, someone drives, I don't have the devotee here, for food for life. Initially, he wasn't chanting Hare Krishna. He wasn't a Hare Krishna devotee, but he was taking the prasadam from temple to that particular place in Newtown. Many of you would have been to that place. What do you call it? Newtown? There's a particular place there. Anyway, so you know what I'm saying. So he's driving a van. That's all he's doing. I know one person who came to temple. He had 40 hours or 200 hours. I can't remember. Work to be done for a community. And he chose a Hare Krishna temple to do those work. He was sentenced from court to do that, 100 hours of punishment. Punishment was you go and do some social service. And he chose Hare Krishna temple. He's washing dishes, he's cleaning the temple and this and that. What work is that? Mad arthamapi. So he's not a Hare Krishna devotee, but what he's doing some activity for Krishna. Krishna counts that as a devotional service. And by doing that, what will happen? Kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. You will achieve perfection. So you are not perfect. You are not a Hare Krishna devotee. You're not practicing vegetarianism and all those things, but you are doing some work for Krishna. Now, this work can be of two categories. One category can be a direct category. One can be a indirect category. What's a direct category? You are doing directly for the pleasure of Lord. Like you're in the temple, mopping the floor. cutting vegetables purely for Krishna, you are working. That may be knowingly or unknowingly. And another activity can be you are helping someone who is helping Krishna. Many devotees, many young boys goes for book distribution, for example. Someone buys them a bottle of juice. I have experienced that. They are not Hare Krishna. They give, $5 or something. Or maybe go and have lunch. Now, this devotee obviously is going to have prasad. So Guru Maharaj explains as a direct devotional service and indirect devotional service. And when he was speaking that, I've just remembered he was giving a class and he was wearing an orange sweater in the class. So he was saying, someone has made this sweater made in China. He said that someone has made this sweater made in China, but because I'm wearing it, this person is getting some sukriti. I was amazed. This person in China or a group of person in China made this sweater which Guru Maharaj is wearing, and he's saying this is called indirect devotional service. Very, very nice. So anyone engaged anyhow or other, directly or indirectly, working for Krishna, he gets the benefit. Now, will he go back to Godhead immediately? No. Krishna is saying, Kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. You will come to the stage of perfection, slowly. And you have the famous verse 719, Bahunanjana namte jnanavan mam prapadyate vasdeva sarvati samatma sudurlava. So slowly and slowly and slowly, you will come to the stage of perfection. So this is the third level. Let's look at if you cannot do that. Krishna is so kind. Krishna is not saying only top class pure devotees can practice. No, anyone can practice to become a devotee sooner or later. So let's see what 12.11 says. Who hasn't done as yet? I highly recommend.
I can.
Okay. Sundar Gopal Prabhuji, go on.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Athayatad api asaktosi.
Athayatad api asaktosi.
Kartum madhyogam ashrita.
Kartum madhyogam ashritaha.
Sarva karma phala tyagam.
Sarva karma phala tyagam.
Tatha kuru yatatmavan.
Tatha kuru yatatmavan.
Translation: If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So now he is giving, which level he is giving? So 12.8, 9, 10, 3 levels he has given. Now he is giving the 4th level. So what was the 3rd level? Work for me. Mad artham karma kaunteya. So something like that he said in, I'll just read 12.11. Sorry, 12.10. The 3rd level was Mad artham api karmani. Mad artham. Mere liye kaam karo. Work for me. That's what. But you cannot do that. So Krishna said, Athay tat api asaktosi. Asakta, asamartha. Similar words. Saying asakta. You are not able to do that for some reason. So what you should do? Karto mad yogam ashritaha. Mad yogam. Attached with me. Ashritaha. What you should do? Exact activity. Sarva karma phala tyagam. So sarva karma phala. If you understand all the activities, tyag. Now here Krishna is not in the picture. Krishna is not in the picture in this particular line. If you see, sarva karma phala tyaga. He is not saying madartham. Madartham. So all the Krishna's direct attachment was there in the 3 verses. In the 4th verse, Krishna is saying sarva karma phala tyaga. That what it means basically, you work in a mode of selflessness, not in a selfish way. Selflessness. So have some act of sacrifice in your work. And Krishna's recommendation is not some, actually, sarva karma phala tyag. Give up the results of all your activities. So it's not saying not to do the activities, not saying, you go and sleep because you become a devotee or something, nothing like that. He's saying sarva karma phala tyagam. So tyag, renounce the fruits of your action. So Prabhupada writes here, try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be, 4th line say, tatha kuru yat atmavan. So atmavan word is very important here. Atmavan refers to atmavan. As we have words in Hindi, vidwan, dhanvan. So Bhagwan, what does Bhagwan mean? Anyone? We all know the meaning of word Bhagwan, a literal meaning I can say.
And you possess all 6 opulences.
Yeah. So one who is a possessor of all 6 opulences. So one means the possessor. So Atmavan will mean to who is the possessor of Atma. Possessor of Atma. You're talking about ghost or something? No. Possessor of Atma means you are self-situated. You are self-controlled. Right now we are not Atmavan. We are sometimes, trying to become Dhanvan, Vidwan, material one, basically, trying to achieve many things in the material world, but we hardly try to achieve something which relates to our Atma. But here is saying Atman, you are self-situated. That means you are doing work for Atma. So you're not connected to Krishna, that's fine, but it's a level up. It's a level up. What you should do, give up all the result of your work and try to be self-situated. So work in a selfless way. And then slowly, while you're acting in a selfless way, slowly you will come to the 12.10, and then you'll come 12.9, and then you'll come to 12.8. So it's a slow progression. Yes, Rasanand, Prabhuji or Mataji.
Prabhuji, quick question. Now, this sarva karma palatyagam, this refers mostly like a karma yoga, right?
Yes.
Like in
actually,
karma yoga,
it's karma yoga.
Yeah, nishkama karma yoga.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, but this is talking about progressive level of bhakti. Does it mean it's a bhakti? It comes under bhakti. It's a karma yoga, right?
Yes. So that's why we are not using the word nishkam karma yoga, but what we are saying, you work in that nishkam spirit. That I am working not to enjoy the fruits of my labor, but I am working just for the sake of my purification and my duty. And where the phala goes, that I don't care, because our concentration, our focus is not in phala. And that's the main difference between a karmi and a yogi. Karmi is always focusing on the mujhe kya milega, what I'm going to get out of it. But a yogi is always looking to give, to give. Now, if you are attaching to Krishna, that means you are very high. You are very high. Like, for example, you are working and, okay, I'm not saying a particular example, but we try to give at least a part of our karma phala to Krishna, at least a part. And for rest of it, we try to engage in Krishna's service. So in one sense, you can say all our work is dedicated to Krishna. In one sense, you can say it's not a very high quality. We're not doing bhakti yoga purely at this stage, which we should do, but we are not doing purely at this stage. But at least we are attaching all our activities, most of our activities, most of our money in the service of Lord. Yen kain prakaran, here or there. That's why this is the spirit of nishkam karma. Nishkam karma is I am not attached to the fruits of my labor. And that's why the word Atmavan is there. You're working at least on the level of Atma. Is that okay? So because it's not attached to Krishna, it's a down level. It's not an up level. Because it's not attached to Krishna. Because there's no word I am giving my fruits of labor to Krishna. No, we are not doing that. That will become verse 12.10. Because mad artham is direct or indirect seva. But here we are not doing that. Krishna is not in the picture. And that's why the lower level.
No, my question, Prabhu, as it goes down, as you said, the further down it's going to go to jnana and also dhyana and other things. Like whether these all come under bhakti, how is that is coming under bhakti? I'm asking.
Sorry, Prabhu, I'm not getting your question.
No, my question is, as you said, it's a top-down approach here. Yes. Krishna is trying to do in all these verses, right? Yes. So first he's saying your mind and then try the mind, like that is coming down, watering down, right?
Yes,
Prabhu?
yes. So we're not talking about Gyan and Dhyan here.
Like you said,
this is the stages of bhakti.
No, I think the next few verses is going to come.
Yeah, so one more verse will come.
This progression.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is, are these all, how we classify them as a bhakti? That's my question.
So first three verses are clear bhakti because you're acting for Krishna, you're practicing for Krishna, and you're living with Krishna. That's pure bhakti, right?
Yes,
but
first
within that, there is a hierarchy.
Right from now, we are all.
Yes, you're right.
From now onwards, it's further watered down.
Yes, Prabhuji. So it is not under bhakti. It's saying you will come to that stage of siddhi. So at this stage, you're working higher than a karmi. A karmi who is just looking forward to enjoy the fruits of his labor is saying not 12.10, 12.11. Here we are saying Atmavan, you work on the level of Atma. You do as a duty, you do it because everyone has their prescribed duty, you perform your duty. But sarva karma phala tyaga, you give up the fruits of your labor. This is not yet bhakti. Bhakti, Krishna has to be present there. There's a level of Atma.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're just going down. Now we go to, thank you, Prabhu. So we go to 12.12. Who hasn't done as yet? Priya Mataji, would you like to do?
Prabhu, sorry, one clarification.
Yes, Mataji.
So as you said, 8, 9, 10 is talking directly about bhakti, but 11 is not bhakti, but it is telling us to do nishkam kam work.
Yes.
And that will take us to bhakti. Is that correct?
Yes.
So this is not directly bhakti at
This,
all.
no, this is, if you cannot practice regulation of Bhakti Yoga, just try to work for me. It's 12.10, I'm looking, sorry. So if you are unable to work in this consciousness, which is work for me, which is 12.10, try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated. It's working on Atma, Atmavan. And that's why it's not related to Krishna, that's why it's not Bhakti. But you are progressing. And that's why it's called ladder of progression.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do the next verse. 12.12. Someone started? Yes, Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
12.12. Yeah. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj.
Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj.
Jnanadhyanam vishishyate.
Jnanadhyanam vishishyate.
Dhyanat karma phala tyagas.
Dhyanat karma phala tyagas.
Tyagachanti anantaram.
Tyagachantir anantaram.
Translation. If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So Shreya. Shreya refers to better. Now Shreya also has multiple meanings. Shreya also means easier. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj. So jnana is better than abhyas. Now here, abhyasa, if you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in cultivation of knowledge. Here, jnana refers to our jnana yoga. And what does jnana yoga refers to? Again, realizing the Atma, not connecting with Krishna. Jnana, better than that, is dhyanam vishishyate, which we already know from the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Better than Gyan is Dhyana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, AY you can say. I call it JY and AY. So Dhyana refers to AY, Vishishyate. So Jnana is better than Gyan is going to AY, which is Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga. Dhyanat, more than Dhyana, Karma Phala Tyagas. Now this is a bit of a complex word here. Many commentaries are given on this particular verse and word, this particular word. Here, karma phala tyaga does not refer to just giving up the activities, which we read in 12.11. Sarva karma phalam tyagam. So our acharyas explain this karma phala tyagas refer to offering your activities and the fruits of your activity to Krishna, which means bhakti yoga. So basically what this verse is saying, Shreyo hi jnanam, if you cannot give up all your activities, then you should gather knowledge. Knowledge means Atma Gyan. If you and better than Atma Gyan is Dhyan Yoga, which is fine. Better than Dhyan is Karma Phala Tyagas. Now here, this 12.12 Karma Phala Tyagas does not refer to 12.11, rather it refers to 12.10. This is mentioned by our acharyas, which refers to Krishna. So you are giving your activities to Krishna. So giving your activities to Krishna is better than Dhyan Yoga. Tyagat, by that, Shantir Anantaram, you feel an inner peace. Like we have this verse 529, Bhoktaram Mittavsam Sarvalok Maheshram Suhridam Sarvabhutanam Gyatva Mam Shanti Brachati. If you know me in that way, Shanti Brachati, you will attain peace. So similarly, if you attach your karma phala to me, Tyagat Shantir Anantaram, you will achieve me. Now in this one, I was reading Prabhupada purport. This one is very nice purport. Just one paragraph I would like to read. If anyone want to read this one paragraph, it's very nice purport Prabhupada has written.
I can read it, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
As mentioned in the previous verses, there are 2 kinds of devotional service: the way of regulative principles and the way of full attachment and love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For those who are actually not able to follow the principles of Krishna consciousness, it is better to cultivate knowledge, because by knowledge one can be able to understand his real position.
Mataji,
Gradually,
just 1 second. Hare Krishna, Mataji. So we'll just translate these lines, what Prabhupada has written, back to the Sanskrit. So Prabhupada is saying, if you are not able to follow the principle of Krishna consciousness, better to cultivate knowledge. And this is what is written in the first line. Shreyo hi jnana abhyasaj. So Gyan is better. Now we'll read the second line here, and that relates to the second line in the Sanskrit. Yes, Mataji.
Gradually, knowledge will develop to the point of meditation.
Now we can go back. Jnana dhyanam vishishyate. So Prabhupada is literally writing from the Sanskrit. Yes, Mataji.
By meditation, one can be able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by a gradual process. There are processes which make one understand that one himself is the Supreme, and that sort of meditation is preferred if one is unable to engage in devotional service. If one is not able to meditate in such a way, then there are prescribed duties, as enjoined in the Vedic literature, for the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras, which we shall find in the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita. But in all cases, one should give up the result of fruits of labor. This means to employ the result of karma for some good cause.
Thank you,
In
Mataji.
some,
We can just stop here, Mataji.
Okay.
So basically what Prabhupada is saying, to employ the result of your karma for some good cause. And that's where Prabhupada has written elsewhere, the nationalism or socialism and these sort of ism comes, where Krishna is not there, but at least you are doing some act of sacrifice. You're not living in a very selfish way. And that's what is recommended in the Shastra. But the highest way of living is to live in Krishna by giving your mind and intelligence to Krishna, as 12.8 recommends. But if you cannot do that, come down, and you say, at least put some, your labor should be given to someone else for some act of sacrifice should be present. And that's why, in Manusmriti, said at least 10% of your income should be given to Krishna. And it says, if you consume it, even if you have earned honestly, that 10% carries the papa. It says that. So 10% you must give. Now many people give as duty, and I think Muslims also have some sort of rules. I don't know how much percentage they also have it now. So in every institution, it's given. Why? Because then only you will become selfless. Otherwise, you'll always be selfish. Sara mera, everything is mine. So when you start giving 10%, and especially if you give to Krishna, then you start giving more. And Rupa Goswami says up to 50%. Somewhere it says actually 50%, not up to. 50% should be given for Krishna conscious activities. All the grahasthas should give 50%. Now, there are many variations of that, but at least 10% should be given up. Why? This will make, Chaitanya Prabhu was saying in a class, it's not how much we donate, it's the attitude of donation should be there. Even if you donate 10 cents, you only have 20 cents, give 10 cents or something like that. The act of charity should be present in the person, not every time thinking what I'm getting, give something, even a small thing should be given up. By that we become selfless, and by that our heart is purified and we can welcome. And the more we give, again, it's not terms of how much you give, not talking in terms of dollar or something. The more you give, the more you develop this attitude of giving, the faster you come closer to Krishna. So it's very important to act on that ladder, and wherever you fit, Krishna is happy to accommodate everyone. Now we're starting this section, the last section of this chapter, which is beautiful. It gives different qualities which Krishna really likes in devotees. Now, before we start this section, we have to say, Bhakti is not dependent on any material quality, even good qualities. Bhakti is not dependent. Bhakti is completely independent. This is the chapter in Nectar of Devotion. If I'm not wrong, the 5th chapter is there, Nectar of Devotion, which says Bhakti is completely independent. And if you practice Bhakti, eventually all the good qualities will come in you. So when we are reading these qualities, we should have clear understanding. We are not practicing these qualities independent of Krishna. I'll give an example. Krishna says we should be humble. We should not have any false ego. But suppose you're very humble, you have no false ego, but you're not practicing Bhakti. What's the value of that sort of humility or no false ego? You will be still in the cycle of birth and death, isn't it? You're a good person, no doubt about it. You're helping everyone and all those things, very nice, but you're still in a mode of goodness. But when you practice humility to please Krishna, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, somewhere it says, why do we practice humility? Why do the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu practice humility? And the answer is because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu likes humility. So we're not practicing humility just for the sake of humility, and everyone says, oh, this person is so humble. No, my Guru Maharaj is saying in one class, he's saying, sometimes we are proud of not being proud. We are very proud of not being proud, because I am very humble. Prabhuji, you know, I am very humble, very, very humble. I have no pride, and we are proud of that. So anytime we practice these qualities independent of bhakti, they itself become obstacle. One Prabhupada disciple, a female disciple, was explaining in her class, I heard somewhere, she was saying she was a vegetarian before coming to Krishna consciousness. And she came to temple once just with friends somewhere, and she was having this Sunday love feast, which Prabhupada used to call it love feast. And she liked the prasadam, and well, then the halwa came, the dessert comes later, and all her friends were taking halwa. So devotees asked, you also take halwa? She said, no, I cannot take halwa. Why? Because she said the halwa had ghee, and she was vegan. She will not take so she will not take paneer, she will not take halwa and all those sort of things. She will not take milk, but she still appreciated the devotee. So initially, it's a period of 1 year or 2 years, I can't remember, a long period, she could not relish, full Krishna consciousness, because her good qualities stopped her to be a devotee. Being a vegan in the material terms, it was a good quality. She's trying to not hurt the animals. And we are talking in 60s sometime. But she herself said later, for 1 year being a satoguni, being in goodness, wasn't helping me. Wasn't helping me, because I was like, oh, I should do this and I should know. I have my own preconceptions. So we are not practicing any quality independent of Krishna Bhakti. Within Krishna Bhakti, yes, we are being humble, we are being honest, we are trying to help others on the level of Krishna. So we are trying to give Krishna. We are just not a missionary where we just give out food. We do give out food. We have this Hare Krishna food for life. But we are not just giving out the food. What we are giving? Prasad. We are just not giving knowledge. We are giving Krishna Anukul Gyan. We are sharing that knowledge. Whenever someone comes, we give Krishna to him or her. We don't just, a nice people institution. We are not. We are not. Prabhupada was asked once, what is the difference between your institution and a missionary? And Prabhupada said, in the missionary, when people come, people get help. But in our institution, what we do, we go out and help. An example Prabhupada gave, when you are sick, you go to the doctor. Like if I'm sick, I go to Manmohan Prabhu and say, Prabhuji, I'm in problem. And Manmohan Prabhu says, okay, take Panadol and sleep, whatever. But if I'm too sick, what will happen? May happen, I can expect. Manmohan Prabhuji comes to my place. It happens. So when you're too sick, patient cannot go to the hospital. Hospital comes to the patient. Is that right? Ambulance comes home because you're too sick. Prabhupada said, we are that ambulance. We are that ambulance. So people are not coming to Krishna. Jagannath Ji is going to the people. So people are not coming to temples. Our devotees are going out for book distribution. We are going out for prasadam distribution. We are going out doing programs. Purushottam Mass is coming. We are doing so many programs. Damodar Mass is coming. We are going out to distribute Krishna. So we have to understand these qualities should be practiced in devotional service. And when we do that, Krishna gets pleased very easily. We get purified very fast. So let's read what these qualities are. 30. I really love this verse. I'm not sure Rupam Prabhu has this in his list. I love these verses. You can just remember them. Beautiful verses. Just meditate on verses itself will give you, I should practice this quality. Mohit Prabhu is ready. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Advaita sarva bhutanam.
Advaita sarva bhutanam.
Maitrah karuna evacha.
Maitrah karuna evacha.
Nirmano nirankara.
Nirmamo nirankara.
Samadukha sukha kshami.
Samadukha sukha kshami.
Santushta satam yogi.
Santushta satatam yogi.
Yatatma drida nishchaha.
Yatatma drida nishchayaha.
Maya arpita manobuddhir.
Mai arpit manobuddhir.
Yo mad bhakta same priya.
Yo mad bhakta same priyaha.
Translation. One who is not envious but is a kind friend of all living entities, who does not think himself a proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me. Such a devotee of mine is very dear to me. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Now you have to help me translate these words. All of you, maybe you can unmute. Let's go quickly. Adveshta. Who will tell Adveshta?
Non-envious.
Non-envious. Dvesh means envy. Adveshta means someone who is non-envious. Non-envious towards human being, towards Australians, towards Indian, towards American. Sarva Bhutanam. Very easy. Maitraha. Maitraha means, everyone knows this word? Friend. So he is a friend to everyone. He has no enviousness. He is friend. Karuna.
Compassion.
What's the difference? Maitri and Karun? Maitri and Karun? Maitri is friendship. Karuna is compassion. Compassion means you are showing some act of doing something. Maitri, sometimes you go to your friend's house, you sit in the sofa nicely. So, kya banaya hai? What have you made for me? So you still, and which is fine, perfectly fine. In Sakya, sometimes you serve your friend, sometimes your friends serve you. That's perfectly fine. Karun means you're doing some compassionate act. Huh? You're doing a step further actually. Nirmamo. What does mama mean? Mama. Mine. Me and mine. My body, my family, my house, my car, my laptop, my. Nirmama means who has no sense of proprietorship. It's not devotee doesn't have a mobile or a car. No, that's fine. You can have all the money of the whole world. That's no problem. He doesn't have a sense of proprietorship because he understands this money and everything else belongs to me. Me? That's mama. Krishna. So he understands this money or everything, all the other resources belongs to Krishna. So he is called Nirmama. Nirahankaraha.
Without ahankar, without
ahankar, what does it mean? Can you expand it? That's a literal meaning, yes?
No ego.
No ego for what?
No false ego.
No false ego for what? Sorry.
For not having ahankar.
Yes, but can you expand it? I am so good. So the first one refers to possessions and second one refers to his own qualities. You know what? I never speak a lie. That's the biggest lie actually. I never speak a lie. Or I'm such a good speaker. I'm such a good this. I'm good that, this and that. This is all ahankar. Nir ahankar. He has no pride. Huh? Some dukkha sukha. Everyone understand that? Again, equal vision, but sama is very, very hard, but sama, dukkha, and sukha, equal vision. Shami. Shami refers to Shama. Shama is forgiving. He is very forgiving in his nature, in his dealings, very, very forgiving. One example, Lord Ram was very forgiving for Ravan, very, very forgiving. He didn't want to kill Ravan or hurt Ravan. He gave so many opportunities to Ravan. Eventually, Ravan had to be killed. Duryodhana also got so many opportunities. But devotees very, very shami. Yudhishthira Maharaj said, 5 gaon. Krishna said, only 5 villages if you give. We are satisfied. Huh? Shami. Santushta satatam. So he is santushta. Only on Sunday, after eating, 5 plates of Mahaprasadam, 6 puris and 15 pakoras and 3 plates of halwa, I'm very santushta. You will be santushta for next 1 hour or so. Satatam. Even if you don't get Mahaprasad puri, everyone else got the puri, everyone else got the gulab jamun, everyone else got the pizza. Santushta. I have to remember, Satatam santushta. No matter what life gives to us, he gives a garland or he gives a slap. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a slap of my beloved Krishna. The slap will also have some good meaning for me. I don't know what, but there will be some good meaning. So, devotee is satisfied in which situation?
Always. On situation.
Every situation. Very difficult, I'm saying, but this is what the bar is. Satatam. Yatatma drad nishchaya. Yatatma means he has self-control. Drad nishchaya means drad nishchay. We know this word. Very determined to practice, to please Krishna consciousness. Mai arpit mano buddhir. Again, this line or similar line has come in this chapter for the 3rd time. What Krishna is asking from you, not your money, not your car or anything like that. Man and buddhi, because the car and money and other things are not a problem. Man and buddhi is the problem, because man and buddhi are always materially attached. So Krishna is saying, you give that to me. Yomad bhakta same priya. That devotee is very dear to me. Beautiful verse. Let's do the next one. 12:15. This is also very famous verse. Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj also quotes this verse. This and the 16 as well, I guess. Shraddha Mataji, would you like to read one?
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you. Yasmanno dvijate loko.
Yasmanno dvijate loko.
Lokanno dvijate chayah.
Lokanno dvijate chayah.
Harsha marsha bhayo dvaige.
Harsha marsha bhayodvegair.
Mukto yasa cha me priyah.
Mukto yasa cha me priyah.
He for whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipped in happiness and distress, fear and anxiety is very dear to me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yasman, by that, na udvijite. So udveg means disturbed. Loko. He does not disturb the loka. Basically, in his presence, the other people feel comfortable. And lokan no dvijite chaya. And lokan means people. See, sometimes or most of the time, people are always disturbing, doing something which you don't like. Your neighbors are doing something, your society is doing, your prime minister is doing something. Many times, what rules come out, people sometimes don't like. And sometimes our presence makes the disturbance for others. Sometimes with others' acts, we get disturbed. Both ways. But this person, Yasman, na dvijate loka. This person does not do anything which cause anxiety to other people. Anyone can give example of a devotee who, with his actions, never gave anxiety to anyone. Anyone. There are many examples. Bhakti Mataji, you're on mute.
Ambrish Maharaj.
Ambrish Maharaj. I was thinking Prahlad Maharaj. Yep, same thing. Prahlad Maharaj or Ambrish Maharaj. By
And
his
Bharat
actions, did he give? Someone said Bharat Maharaj. Yeah, okay. There can be many examples. So devotees never do anything which causes anxiety for others. But you can say other ways possible. Others are doing such things. It causes anxiety for a devotee. Like we get an anxiety, yes or no? I get. You're all pure devotees. You don't get any anxiety. I do get. So with all due respect to even devotees in devotee camp, sometimes they do something which disturbs you, isn't it? You get agitated. Prabhuji ने ऐसा क्यों बोला? ओ माता जी ऐसा कैसे कर रही थी? हाँ, so many times we talk about it. Means we get disturbed, but this person does not get disturbed. Anyone can give an example by even very mean acts by others. This devotee does not got disturbed.
Haridas Thakur.
Haridas Thakur, thank you.
Bharat Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj again. Hiranyakashipu was trying to kill him.
Bharat Maharaj.
Bharat Maharaj, yes.
Jada Bharat, sorry.
Yeah. So he was not disturbed at all.
Bali Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj. Okay. He was not disturbed. Yes and no. Initially, yes, little bit. But in his actions, he was very firm. He was very firm. But we can say Jad Bharat, he was getting killed actually, but he was not disturbed at all. At all. The sword was on his neck. Right there, he was not disturbed at all. Huh? So these two lines are so beautiful. Harsha, everyone understands Harsha. Harsha means when you achieve something, yay, I achieved this trophy or this lottery or whatever. Amarsha Prabhupada says as distress. So he is Harsha, Marsha, same. Bhaya, Udveg. So when Bhaya comes, he is exactly the same. He does not get fearful. Why? Because he is fully aware of the presence of Krishna. He has no fear. Even if the body gets hurt, he has no fear inside. Udveg, Mukto. So one who is Mukta, liberated, does not get impacted by these things. Yah Sacha Me Priya. That devotee is very dear to me. Okay, let's read one more verse. They are interrelated, and then we will stop the class. 16. Who wants to read the last one?
I can read, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, everyone is saying up.
I'll do it.
Oh, Krishna.
See,
तीसरा आदमी फायदा उठा ले गया. That's okay. It's a good फायदा. Please, Mohit Prabhu.
Anapeksha suchirdaksha.
Anapeksha suchirdaksha.
Udasino gata vyatha.
Udasino gata vyatha.
Sarvarambha Parityagi.
Sarvarambha Parityagi.
Yo Mad Bhakta Same Priya.
Yo Mad Bhakta Same Priyaha.
My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without care, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me.
Thank you. Anapeksha. Anapeksha means he does not does apeksha from others, expectation from others. Like in this material world, we have expectations, right? All of us have expectation from our friends, from our family, from our employer. Like you go to work and you do apeksha, expectation that you'll get paid, isn't it? If you don't get paid, will you go back to work? I will. You have apeksha from your friends sometimes, from your family, and then many times you get actually frustrated because of apeksha, isn't it? Devakinanda Prabhu was saying, the more the apeksha, the more the expectation, the more the frustration. This happens. If you love someone a lot and he doesn't work as per your expectation, you get a lot of frustration. But if a neighbor doesn't work the same thing, you have no care because you had no expectation from your neighbor. From your loved ones, you will have some expectation. But this devotee is anapeksha. Because apeksha, because of this expectation, we get frustration. Suppose no expectation, no frustration, isn't it? Formula wise, at least, it works. So this devotee is anapeksha. It also meaning neutral. The way it's mean paksha. Paksha means side. Anapeksha means no sides. So he does not take any sides. Or he's right, he's wrong. Suchi. Suchi, everyone knows the word suchi. Suchi and muchi. We use this word quite regularly. Clean. So he is very clean. Daksha, he is expert. Now, Daksha expertise does not mean he's very expert in, say, cooking gajar ka halwa. Are, aapko gajar ka halwa, you don't know how to cook gajar ka halwa. Carrot halwa, Vijay Gopi Mataji, carrot halwa. No, Daksha does not mean these material things, which he may or may not be. He may be very expert in cooking or doing kirtan or glorifying Krishna and all that. That's fine. Daksha refers to in serving Krishna, he's very Daksha. He knows when to serve, how to serve, what to serve to Krishna. He's called Daksha. Udasino, again, the word Udasin is used as a, he's neutral. In different situations, he will not take sides. You're right, you're wrong. Once Prabhupada was approached by two disciples, they had some disagreement, and one went to Prabhupada, explained his side. Prabhupada said, okay, you're right. Second one went to the room later, and he said, oh, you're also right. Then Prabhupada called both of them in the room, and he said, you're also right, Mr. A, you're also right, Mr. B, you're also right. But you want to be right or be Krishna conscious? You want to be right or be Krishna conscious? And both said, we want to be Krishna conscious. So many times Prabhupada was very, very expert. He could say that he could understand from his perspective what he did or said was correct. From others' perspective, what he said or did is correct. But at the end of the day, we have to come and work together because it is for Krishna. Gata Vyatha. So Vyatha, everyone knows. Vyatha means distress. Gata Vyatha means all the distress is gone. Again, it's not a bodily distress which we are talking. Mentally, he is not disturbed. Bodily distress, no one can avoid. Everyone has to go through that. Sarva Arambha Parityagi. Parityagi refers to he has given up. What he has given up? Sarva Arambha. Arambha refers to the activity. Sarva means all. So here activity refers to activity for sense gratification. So he has given up doing anything which is for his sense gratification. He still does a lot of things for Krishna's sense gratification, not for his sense gratification. So it's called Sarvarambha Parityagi. He is not engaged in sense gratification activities. Yomad Bhakta Same Priya. That devotee is very, very dear to me. Okay, it's sharp 9:00. I'll stop here. I know I wanted to cover this chapter today. If you couldn't do, no problem.
Prabhu, sorry,
Yes.
I have one small question. Should I ask now or next time?
Mother, maybe you'll do it later, because the weekday, many devotees may have to go other things as well. Many young mothers I'm seeing, they have young kids. Please write it, Mataji, and we can definitely talk next class. Now, I know the assignment date we said 30th of June, and I hope we will finish. Everyone is curiously looking at it. So, Sundar Gopal Prabhu, I think we should extend it because I haven't technically finished the class. So I'm sure devotees will be very happy. Many of you have submitted, so thank you. If you have done it, please submit it to me. It's got nothing to do with the next 4 verses, your assignment, nothing to do, but we'll still extend it. It's all right. So we'll take assignment by next class, 9th of July. Will that be okay with everyone? At least on the call. I'm sure you would have done it already. Many
Yes,
devotees
Prabhu.
have already submitted, but okay, technically still 4 verses left. So let's try the date max as 9th of July. And after 9th, we'll not accept the assignments. And Sundarpur, we can please publish it as well. Huh?
Sure, I'll send a message.
And yes, Prasanna and Prabhuji.
I was just thinking how to ask Prabhu because the month end, year end, lot of work were there.
Yeah, and that's why we should not postpone it to the last minute. I always say,
Yeah,
you should do actually module 3 assignment.
No, I wanted to ask at least this Sunday because Sunday class is not there. Try to finish that day.
Yeah, now you got another 11 days or something. So yeah, I think, and module 3 assignment, I'm literally requesting all of you, please do module 3 assignment right now. Chapter 13 to 18 you can do because you're all read Bhakti Vraksha. You are teaching, many of you are teaching Bhakti Vraksha, so it's not much which you don't know. If you don't know, read Prabhupada reports. Very easy assignment. Finish your essays. All you should do later, tune your answers. Make your answers better. That's all. Otherwise, assignment you should do on day 1. That's what I say. The day you join Bhakti Shastri, you should do all the assignments. I used to do that. Fast. Finish everything. And then when you understand better, you just enhance your answers, enhance your essays. And in the meanwhile, you read all these verses and cram verses. All of you, in my definition, should know at least 200 verses after Bhakti Shastri, at least 200, if not 400. I know MIH only says 50 verses, at least 200 verses you should know after Bhakti Shastri. That's the normal expectation. Actually, normal is 400. At least 200 verses is nothing, to be very honest, nothing. You should all know 200 verses. So target like that. Don't just stick to these assignments, which are very nice. But if you really want to, study Bhagavad Gita like that. Okay, let's stop here. Okay, a quick comment I will take, not a question, Prabhuji or Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
how many essays in the module 3?
I can't remember top of my head. How much did I say, Sundar Gopal Prabhu? I can't remember. To be 5 you have done for this, right? This module 5 essays, am I right?
Oh, three
we did for this module.
3 you did? So Sundar Gopal Prabhu can help me. I can't remember. I don't want to give wrong information.
We haven't discussed about module 3. How many?
I think it's been pre-decided, but I'll get back to you, Prabhuji. Not more than 3. Not more than 3. That I'm sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll get back to you, Prabhu.
I think the actual only 4 are given. The 4 topics are given. So I'm a bit curious.
Yeah, not more than 3. I'll get back to you, Prabhuji. But maximum 3, which is pretty manageable. In 6 months, you can write 3 essays. 2 months, 1 essay. Mausu Prabhu, quick one.
Yes, Prabhu. Just reminding that you will do give us the information about the question paper as to what sort of questions there are.
Yes, Prabhu. We'll definitely. 23rd session is booked for that.
Some guidelines, I mean. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what.
Yes, 23rd July is booked for that already. We'll do study for exam. 23rd June, no new study. 23rd June is dedicated for the exam purpose. But in nutshell, exact same format what you have done in the previous module. Exact same. There's nothing new. Same question answer. But I'll discuss more. But in your mind, I'm just saying same thing will come. Short answers, 2.5 hours. Read verses and tell me. That's all. Simple.
No, because last time you said that whatever that we are doing as an assignment, that will be the key of all the questions, and the rest 20% will be from others out of the. So that's what I'm just asking. Is that what it is?
If you have done study well, Prabhu, easy questions are there. Easy questions are there. That's all I can say. Just study the notes, Prabhuji, of each class. That's it. More than enough. More than enough. And obviously your assignment and your verses. Okay. And there are 17 verses, Sundar Gopal Prabhu. I can't remember how many are there. 17. So please do 17. If you have any file problem or something, speak to Sundar Gopal Prabhu or Rupa Prabhuji and get everything sorted out. 17 verses should be a baby tip. But learn more. Honestly, learn 50 verses in each module at least. It's needed. It's really needed. We are not just getting a certificate. It's a lot more than that. It should be a lot more than that. That's a minimum thing, Just get 17 verses out. Read every day 50, 60 verses. It takes 20 minutes or something. Just read. Don't time, just read. If you are very interested, start writing in your diary. Every day, 10 days, you'll literally know so many verses. Just dedicate a time, daily basis, just blindly read. And then when you practice it, you'll read pretty fast and start singing the verses. Like these verses can be sung, and then you'll remember everything in your head. Okay, let's stop here. I think we're all clear. We'll see you on 9th of July.
Prabhuji, that 23rd this revision, can that be shifted 1 week before so that we have couple of weeks to meditate on this thing and prepare accordingly? Is that possible?
It's perfectly possible. Or I'm saying it's very easy. Don't get bothered about this little exam. You just worry about your study. Honestly, just study. So don't worry about the phala. Okay, a little bit, yes. Study. And if you're studying, 23rd will be just a revision. I can do on 16, no problem. I thought then 23rd I do a new topic, 16 I do a old topic. So that's sort of doesn't sync, but I can do. Technically, I have no issue in speaking this chapter or that chapter. So if devotees decide that way, I'm happy. But I think 23rd will be more chronological to enter before the exam. No new topic goes in your head. Everything goes in your head, which is going to come in the exam on 30th of July. That's my thing. You still have 6 days in between, and your preparation should not be done the last week. I always prefer earliest. As I'm saying, module 3 assignment, do right now. Not 30th of July, tomorrow you start. You'll still be able to give exam. I try to fit more things in the less time. So see if that works for you. Again, everyone's situation can be different, so I'm not sure how much can be done, but try for more. Why less? Okay, let's stop here. It's 9:07. I'm worried about the mother or father who have young children. They must be waiting for the parents. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you.
Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. God
Jai.
Hari Hari Bol.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you.